Hi there and welcome to Two Talk 2. I've asked a number of our guests what's the biggest change they'd like to see in higher education. Here's what they told me.
I would replace the currently predominantly linear and front-loaded model of education with flexible lifelong learning approaches where one can move in and out of higher education as needed, underpinned by a citizens' lifetime education allowance that support free higher education for duration between 6 and 7 years, which would be sufficient to attain a cumulative master's.
For me, I think it would be about embracing the potential and of collaboration and dynamic change. But really to do that effectively and with lasting impact requires a significant uplift in resources, financial, infrastructure and people. But if we bring those three together, we know that Ireland can be in a much better place than where we are today.
I'd turn it into a public good. I'd make sure that higher education was properly funded so that the funding isn't dependent on the students and the parents and the hard-pressed families having to make choices around education. And if we have a properly funded system, then we don't have to do that, and we create the opportunities for everybody regardless of what their income is or what their financial circumstances within their household is.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is really about tackling the culture of violence and sexual harassment and bringing it to a space where it simply is not acceptable. And that's for students as well as staff. It's for everyone who both works in third level. And I think it's really critical that we tackle it at a cultural level.
I think the most important thing we need to do, though, is create an integrated tertiary education system where we show, particularly our young people, but all people, all of the options available to them in terms of education, further education, training, apprenticeships, and of course, higher education. So I think if we can get that integrated system, I think all of the rest of the good things like funding and reform will flow from that.